Hi, we're Jonathan and Mandy, and this is our RV Tracks. In 2022, we sold it all to chase a dream of living a full and free life. We started this channel to document our travels across the country and found something out, and we love to inspire people. So whether it's taking a trip of a lifetime, or starting a new business, or just simply living a life more loved, we hope that we can bring a smile to your day and inspire you to chase your dreams, big and small.
All right, here we go. Welcome to a fun episode of our RV Tracks.
We are starting a podcast.
We are starting a podcast. So we are trying something incredibly new and different. And this was our test. And unfortunately, you guys have to be our guinea pigs and see how this works.
So welcome to episode 1.
Welcome to episode 1. We are gearing up for season 2. This video will actually conclude our season 1. I know we've mentioned it before, and we've been working on equipment. We're obviously not in our RV, so we'll give you guys an update on that shortly. But we really wanted to use this as an opportunity to get prepared for our equipment into season 2, and also to wrap season 1 in a conversation style. We have talked about what type of format we want to provide on this channel for you guys, what information we want out there, and podcasting has sort of just seemed something we've always wanted, just never sure how we would get it going.
We both like to talk.
We both love to talk. So conversation style, I think, it just makes sense for us. So we want to get right into this. In today's video, we're going to start right out of the top, talking about what we ended our last video on, and that is the question: how much did it cost to travel out west?
Yep.
And was it worth it? Was it worth it? So for any of you that are new to our channel, we sold our house. We were both born and raised in North Carolina. We sold our house and we bought an RV, and we decided to just go to the Rockies for the entire summer. Just like,
I mean, such an easy first trip.
Let's
go to the Rocky Mountains. Let's go across the country.
Let's jump into the deep end and go all in. Now,
when you say it, it's comical.
It's comical because what were we thinking? What were we thinking? But, you know, we put ourselves on the fast track of learning. You have to learn very quick. You have no support when you go across the country because all of our family and friends are on the East Coast. And so we literally we went into Colorado in April and basically ran all the way up to Montana, near to Canada. And then
we didn't go to Canada. We went to Glacier National Park.
Up to the line, right? And so, but during all of this chaos, we knew going into it, okay, it's going to cost money, and it's going to be a lot of money. But this was something that I've always had as a goal. I've always wanted to see the Rocky Mountains ever since I was a little boy. Even when we started dating, I used to joke about moving her to Montana when we grew up, if you remember that.
I now know. If you came to me and said, hey, let's move to Montana, I would say, I don't think so.
Absolutely. And so it's been one of those things for us that we're glad we went, but we really want to get to the meat of it. So let's talk about this.
I'm
gonna deep dive right into this, and I want to talk about gas first. Gas was one of the funniest things we did. I have shown a lot of clips. I could have made just videos of gas. Sure, it was crazy. I was a little underprepared. But for gas, $5,189.
And 39
cents was gas. My truck can average 9 miles to the gallon on flat land. In the mountains, you're looking 3 or less, mostly less. You can literally watch the gas needle drop when you're in the mountains. And, you know, we even hit a headwind in Kansas.
Yeah, you think Kansas,
that's going to be... It'll be fine. Yeah. We hit a headwind, and I literally was pegged to like almost 4,000 RPMs the whole state. And I mean, it's just... I think I averaged 5 or less miles per gallon there. And it was just crazy. And then once we hit Colorado, everything from Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, it was all mountains for the entire summer.
Yeah.
And, you know, we want to talk more in other videos about the strategy of planning a trip where you're going to an area that you don't know, because we didn't know, like, hey, let's just find a campground available, even if it's a few hours away. But that really impacts your trip.
Oh, yeah.
We know now.
Back, now that we've done it and we've learned so much, that, my top recommendation is if you are going out west to do the national parks like Glacier and Grand Tetons and Yellowstone, that sort of thing, you need to really plan in advance so that you can get a campground that's close.
Yes.
Because that was kind of what we were running into is when we finalized our trip and deciding where we were going to go, what we were going to do. That was January of this year. And we were leaving in April. And so everything close by all the national parks were already booked up. Like they book up so far in advance. And so we kind of had to just go with campgrounds that were an hour and a half to 2 hours away. And that adds up really quick in gas when you're going, like, for instance, when we were in Wyoming and we would have to go from the campground to Yellowstone, back, and then the next day turn around, go right back to Grand Tetons. Yeah. Come back. Like, it's a lot of back and forth and a lot of gas.
Yeah, 4 hours a day. And in, like, that scenario, gas was more expensive in the national parks. And so it was crazy. And so gas was one of those things we really didn't know what it was going to cost. And then we found out the more the trip went. And we decided, like, we can't not go. So.
Yeah, you can't go that far. We can't go all the way to Montana and not go to Glacier just because it's 2 hours away and gas is.
We even thought about it. We even thought at one point about canceling Montana altogether because of the gas. But we were like, no, we're out here. We're going.
Yeah.
We said we would go.
Out here?
Yes. Yeah. And so, it was one of the things that caught us unaware. We've learned, and we plan to share that stuff going forward. Campground stays. This was unexpected for me. Those campgrounds out there know they've got you.
Yeah.
Because they know you've got to get to those national parks. And they know that people in national parks mostly want to camp in a campground or with a camper. We ended up spending a total of $9,800.
And that was 10 different campgrounds.
10 different campgrounds. It was crazy expensive.
And I do believe all this is, we started keeping track of gas and campground stays in Kentucky.
Yes.
Because that was kind of like the start of our trip.
Absolutely.
So Kentucky, and then into Colorado and all the states that we did in the Rocky Mountains.
Yep. And so that's a total for us. Total out west for campground and gas, $14,991.76. That is crazy.
It's a kick in the pants.
That is crazy. We have laughed and joked about it, and Mandy's like, that was totally worth it or not. We'll reveal here in a moment. But we have literally talked a lot about this, and it blew us away. We didn't know it was going to be that much. We really didn't. Gas prices was higher than expected.
I think that's the thing is the gas because, I had already planned all the campgrounds.
Yeah.
I will say this. Yes, we had already done that. But we also changed our plans a couple of times on the trip.
Yes, we did.
And so, for instance, we got to Granby and tried to hang in there with all that snow and freezing temperatures. And then we actually left 2 weeks early from there and went to Grand Junction, where we were in a much warmer climate, but we did have to pay a little extra because that was a campground that we had not budgeted in, but it was totally worth it, in my opinion.
It was. I mean, we had, planned this amazing trip only to get out there and realize we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't go outside. It was blizzard-like conditions. It was 12 degrees, 50-mile-an-hour winds.
We were literally stuck in the camper the entire time we were in Granby the first time.
Yeah.
Except for like one weekend that we went and saw the waterfalls.
That's right. And Grand Junction turned out to be amazing. I'm so glad we went. We met some new friends, amazing people there.
That was actually one of my favorite places.
It really was. And it was unexpected.
Yeah, because it was not planned.
No, it wasn't. And it was also in high desert. I wasn't sure I'd like high desert. I loved it. Loved the atmosphere. So cool. Loved all of the things. Really once we left Grand Junction is when things really got tough for us, I think. I'm heading north.
Yeah.
Well, Moab.
Moab was fun.
And then after Moab. So, was it worth it? Was it worth it? So, Mandy, I'm going to let you kick into this one first.
Okay. because I'm starting out with a negative. Me personally, at this point in this, we're only a month and a half away. Like we got back at the beginning of September.
Still fresh.
Still very fresh. So at this moment of time, I do not feel that it was worth it.
Dun, dun, dun. If I had dramatic music, I'm going to have dramatic music one
I
day.
do think that the national parks and just the scenery of those and the nostalgia of like seeing Old Faithful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that was so cool and so amazing. And I'm so glad that we got to see that and we got to see that with our boys. I mean, we're in our 30s and this is our first time seeing this stuff and our boys are 9 and 6 and have already been to 5 major national parks. So I love that fact that we've done it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But I am very much a beach girl. So my perfect idea of a trip is like tropical or going to the beach, or one of my bucket list things is going up to New England in the fall. So like that's kind of I am more of an East Coast girl. That's my vibe. And so although it was beautiful and it was amazing, and I'm like glad that we can say we've seen these places and we have all these pictures and videos, I just would have rather spent that money like
on a 7-day cruise.
Not even a cruise. No, like a sandals kids can't go to sandals, a beaches vacation.
Yes.
It would be much, much shorter of a trip. It wouldn't have been all summer.
Yeah,
but
and I realized about 3 weeks into our trip that this was not for Mandy. She started letting me know really quick, and it was
I'm an Appalachian Mountain type of girl,
Yes.
okay? Appalachian Mountains and the beach. The Rocky Mountains, amazing, but not for Mandy. Yeah. Like it's just not my jam.
Yeah, and we talked about this, and I remember in the middle of the trip, she started giving me this vibe, and I'm like, Mandy, you can't be this way. Like we've spent so much money, like this is an adventure.
You've got to enjoy it.
But we've learned, like it is okay that you have that opinion. It's okay that you had that thought. It doesn't mean we hate camping. It doesn't mean we hate any of that stuff. It's more of like that environment, and especially going for that long wasn't something that you'd prefer to do
and
again.
Being that far from everything we've ever known. Like we've grown up all our lives in North Carolina, and then I feel like it was almost like a culture shock because everything is so different out there.
Yeah.
Like people are really nice and friendly, but just the landscape and just everything is so different from being over here in the East.
Absolutely. And so for me, so we'll switch kind of gears here. I have a different opinion, and I think it was 100% worth it. And people look at me like I'm crazy because if you've watched and followed the channel at all, you saw the problems we had. We had tire issues and a lot of problem solving things. But you don't grow in life if you're stagnant. You have to grow in times of trouble and trials, and we did. And so for me, just the knowledge that we've come back with, at college, you pay so much money to go to college to come back with a degree because you learned something. This was our college course. This was the school of hard knocks in camping.
This is a RV crash course.
RV crash course, yeah. And it's literally, we jumped in on the deep end, but we came back in 5.5 months, completely different people. And what we've learned in RVing, what we've learned about one another, what we've learned about our family, it was not easy. And there were times that were really hard. A lot of good times, a lot of fun times, a lot of laughter, which is why you go RVing and just to spend time together. But really, we learned so much. And I kept telling Mandy, I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of us. And I'll never forget, it was the middle of the night. My transmission had went out in my truck in Colorado, and I had to drive 2 hours over a mountain pass to get to another town. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I am so proud that we are able to problem solve and get stuff fixed, because a lot of people can't. Some people fold.
I was about to fold that day.
And
when I was walking around town by myself, with just me and Logan and the dog.
I remember I said, Mandy, I've got to go over this mountain pass and I'm stuck in fourth gear. Do you want to go? And you're like, nope. Have fun with that, buddy. So she stayed at the camper. But I'm so proud.
But you were glad that I didn't go because you were like, you would have had a fit.
It was dangerous.
Yeah.
And but yeah, all the things we've learned. So for me, I'm incredibly proud of what we've learned, what we've done. I'm thankful that we made it through safely. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you've ever heard that saying, you only live life once, like live it to the fullest. We lived it to the fullest because we definitely grew a lot. I'm excited about what we have next year. We're taking a little less adventurous, but still an adventure trip. And we'll share those details with you into season 2 and as we get planning for 2024, but I'm wrapping 2023 with a thumbs up because we made it. You know, everybody we talked to around our family and friends and different ones.
You know what I just thought about? You know that movie? It's one of the Ice Age movies.
Okay.
When they're in that like pit of like the green gas.
Okay.
And
yes.
What's the guy's name? The like hero adventurer guy that comes in.
I cannot remember.
And he's like, we died, but we lived.
But we lived, right. Yes, and that's kind of, I mean, that's really the mentality.
And they were hysterically laughing about it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you could take that money, put it in the bank. You could live a safe life. But what are you going to learn in a safe life? Well, how are you going to grow? How are you going to push yourself? And so, like, I'm excited. I was glad to get back. There's nothing like the East Coast for us, so it was exciting to see the beach again and the palm trees and the pine trees and the things that over here, oak trees. And I'm excited, but I can go into this season of rest because we try to take the winter off and sort of take it a little easier. We camp in a warmer environment, but we're going into this time, you know, being able to pat ourselves on the back because we made it. And I'm proud we did. So we definitely differ a bit in our point of view. But overall, one thing we can both agree on is that, like, what a way to spend time as a family, camping. Yeah. Camping just gives you that opportunity. And hopefully next year we show the easier side of camping, the more planned and better side of camping. So I want to transition a little bit too from this to say what's ahead, what's next for us. So you can expect the next episode to be somewhat of a podcast format. I'm trying to stay hybrid. I don't want it to be stagnant where we're just sitting here the entire time. We want to be on site and immersed in the camping world and on our feet with a camera in our hand, but then also have these times of the podcast sort of format to explain it and have a conversation. Yeah. We look forward to having special guests as our channel grows and to bring in, even in this new season, bringing in a couple of unexpected guests to talk about and grow and share their journeys and things. So we really are excited about this next portion or next season. It's our season 2. Have we released the name yet, or are we going to wait till the first episode?
I think we're going to wait.
Okay, I put her on the spot. I knew we were going to wait. I just going to see what you said. But so we're going to wait. We're excited to release that to you. So for now, thank you so much. If you've watched from beginning to the end on this season 1, thanks for sticking with us. Yeah. We have some big things ahead. The worst is behind us on the hard trips.
Hopefully.
Oh,
yes,
no. Well, there's no Rockies involved. It has to be. It has to be. We are currently getting.
Just jinxed us.
No. We're currently getting our RV maintenance done and work. So we're getting that stuff caught up so we can go into this winter season chilling and enjoying some downtime before next year's adventure. So, with that said, and in hopes of me not messing this up and trying to figure out how to operate the controls, we would like to say thank you so much for watching this episode. We can't wait to see you guys on our next episode where we introduce our season 2.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks for watching.